past 6 months, we've been behind closed doors with Oyster Yachts as they design and build a benchmark new boat that will change the landscape of the luxury 50-foot yacht market. Progress here at their new facility in Hythe has been rapid. It's an exciting time. The first ever Oyster 495 is already beginning to display some of the characteristics that have evolved from almost half a century of yacht design.
Oyster is the world's finest blue water sailing yacht.
So far, we've discussed the concept behind this new landmark yacht, and we've heard from the design team about the challenges of building a brand new boat.
The 495 is a challenging yacht to design from day one, because at the end of the day it's a small oyster, but it's got to give you the feel of a big oyster.
But we've also experienced the difficulties of meeting build deadlines amidst the supply and delivery issues of a global pandemic.
So the deadline is of course Düsseldorf Boat Show in January. All being well, if all our designs are working, everything turns up on time, then we'll be okay.
Since our last visit, things have moved on. Progress has been to schedule. So in this episode, we're going to look at how a new production process is going to ensure the efficient and timely delivery of this exciting new yacht. With a legacy of almost 50 years of luxury yacht design, Oyster Yachts have been building blue water cruisers since the 1970s. Their boats have a reputation and are well known around the sailing world for their build quality, their craftsmanship, their attention to detail. Oyster's reputation within the sailing world is well founded. But to build their new project, the Oyster 495, they've taken the big step of implementing a completely new production process.
This is about delivering high quality product on time, and the only way you can do that is to take that into bite-sized chunks, build in processes and procedures and policies that actually control the build from start to finish. As soon as you've got that established, then you can guarantee right first time quality, on-time delivery.
Within the world of luxury yacht design, there can be few people with as much production experience as Oyster's Peter Hamlin. He's been in the industry his entire working life and brings decades of manufacturing expertise as he oversees the production changes here at Oyster.
Well, in the new process, I mean, it's fundamentally 5 stages, but it's a combination of modern manufacturing techniques, new technology, but combined with the traditional skills of over 50 years of Oyster knowledge. And it's a combination of both those two things that will make this an absolute key asset for Oyster Yachts.
So talk to me about the processes, the 5 steps that will create a 495.
So we've got 5 main stages. The first stage is all about pre-build. This is all the engineering systems, electrical loom sets, etc. go in. Then it moves into stage 2 where furniture starts to be added into it. So this is very modular construction. So modular furniture goes into the boat at stage 2. Stage 3 is when the deck goes on. Suddenly we've got a hull mated to the deck, we've got a boat now. Then it moves into stage 4 where we go through final finishing, and then stage 5 is literally cleaning, testing, commissioning, running the systems up before she launches out to sea.
To be able to implement this new build process, earlier this year Oyster moved into a new production facility in Hythe. Known as the Admiralty Shed, the building is magnificent, in total covering a massive 7,000 square metres. And although it's new to the yacht builder, it's a building with an important past. This massive space was built in 1917 during the Great War, and at the time was a pioneering design. The idea was to have vast areas of floor space without the obstruction of roof supports, which back then allowed them to work on giant flying boats.
It's great working at Hythe, the heritage of the building, the construction, in the history of what we know was built here during various periods of its lifetime. It's got a very specific roof construction, and that was to allow for the wingspan of the flying boat. And that wingspan gives us a great manufacturing space because it means we can move our boats around without having the pillars in the way. So it is a fantastic facility. There's been a huge amount of history at this place, and we're creating new history for Oyster by building the 495 at Hythe.
With all the elements coming together and a strict build schedule to stick to, one of the key landmarks on the road to completion of the first ever 495 is the moment the hull and the deck finally come together.
So if anything's coming down, it's going to pinch, just shout stop.
Today's obviously it's a big milestone today. We've worked hard to get to this stage, done a lot of work on the deck. We don't know how it's going to go yet. We've put all the modules in. We haven't tried it with the deck on. We don't know if we've got any clashes. I'm sure the design team's done a really good job and I've seen it, so fingers crossed there'll be hardly anything there and it'll just be a little trim down and get it into place.
We good? Right, going up.
So they know that the deck fits. The challenge now is they have 90 minutes to apply glue all the way around and get the deck back in exactly the right spot. It's a race against time and it's pretty stressful.
It's a big milestone getting the deck on. It looks like a boat. It's looking sleek, it's looking really nice. It's that key milestone, we've achieved it. Now we can move on to the next stage of the build.
It's a huge step here at Oyster. The Oyster 495 is beginning to look like a real yacht. There's still an awful lot of work to be done, but for the man tasked with delivering the yacht on time, it's a welcome move in the right direction. Last time we saw you, Andrew, you were worried about getting all the big components in the boat, that they would arrive in time before you put the deck on. I mean, how do you feel now it's all together?
Well, it's good to be where we are now with the deck on. It is an absolute cornerstone turning point of the project. It's not necessarily saying that we're there. We've got a long way to go. I'm really happy with what we've now got. That feeling and looking at the boat and seeing how things have actually worked out from the theory of CAD drawings to the reality of what we've got here. I'm really pleased. It's exceeded my expectations actually. I think we've got a really super boat here and people are going to be very impressed with it.
The first ever Oyster 495 is beginning to look like a real oyster and it looks fantastic. But the clock is still ticking. There's plenty of work ahead if this talented team here in Hythe are going to deliver this groundbreaking yacht on time.
It's very tight. It's very tight. We are moving hell on earth to try and get to our deadline, but we're on the red line, I'd say, is where we put it.
As we've seen, progress here is rapid. So don't miss the next instalment here from Oyster as we watch the interior of this exciting yacht transform into a beautiful, handcrafted bluewater cruiser.